bench unit coming out and giving that spark, like Coach just talked about how much of a lift you gave the team. How do you stay ready when maybe you're not getting as many minutes a few games ago and then you come in and make an impact a couple games in a row?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. You know, this year's been a down year for me. I felt like I established myself as a player last year, and then this year it's been tough. So I've been, you know, Joe's done a great job of trying to keep me ready and get me back in shape and playing on the side, and that's my role right now. You know, I gotta fight where I can. You know, and it's tough, but staying patient and not, getting down because it's tough mentally. It's super tough. So you know, just trying to stay engaged and staying ready on the side, that's the best you can do, because right now, you know, you got to try to be the best you can in your role, and that's my role right now.
And just as a bench coming out, like you guys really took control of that third quarter. Just what did you see from the chemistry between all of you guys coming off of the bench?
I mean, the bench unit's full of, guys that are young, and besides, well, I guess Bogey started today, but Bogey's obviously a great shooter, he's a great player. But other than that, it's guys that are young, that are fighting to stay in the league, that are, besides AJ, obviously he's a top pick, but it's just guys that play really, really hard. And when you have guys like that, it makes the game easier to play with. And so when you play with guys like that, it's fun, and it brings energy to everybody else.
I asked Quinn about you earlier, and he said one thing that comes to mind is just toughness from you. Just where do you channel some of that toughness from to execute the 110% on both sides of the ball?
I think it comes from being on the verge. You know, I wasn't even supposed to be in the league. You know, I'm the first player to ever come out of Lipscomb University. You know, so I've had to fight for everything I've gotten, and I'm still fighting, even though I played decent last year. So just trying to keep that mentality of trying to prove and trying to prove and trying to prove. It's just I don't care where I'm at. You know, I got to keep proving to everybody what I can do.
You also mentioned that you went to him and asked him what you could do, and I mean, how does that conversation go when you approach a coach to ask them what it is you can do to get more minutes?
Yeah, I mean, it's I've never been a guy that really tries to pry or ask, but it's been a tough year, and he helped me out a lot, just explaining what I can do better, just staying ready. A lot of it's opportunity and timing in this league, because everybody can play. So when you get your opportunity, you can't just screw around and not execute, not be in right rotations. You know, you have to pay attention all the time. And so he explained that a little bit. You know, I've played against him a lot on other teams, and he's a great coach. I love his system. I love his intensity. He doesn't put up with anything, and that's the kind of guy I respect.
More questions? Jeff, you got anything?
No, thank you.
One more, is that okay? We've seen you in practice, sort of practicing, shooting off the dribble, and the types of drills that you go through in practice, sort of after practice. Do you come with those as things that you've done before that you want to bring and use to keep ready, or are those things that maybe the coaches here suggested when you got here?
That's always been my game, is flying off screens, shot fake, one dribble, stuff like that. I'm never going to be an ISO player, so to say. I mean, they're helping me put the ball on the floor a little bit more, try to get downhill, try to create a little bit more. But my main game is to shoot the ball and to fly off screens and space the floor for Trey and DeJounte, and just be a threat, shooting at all times. So I try to play as hard as I can defensively, but that's not my main role, is to shoot and to space. So in college I learned how to fly off screens and shoot off balance, and so that's what I try to continue to practice.
Garrison, talk a little bit about taking the charges, because that's something that's been a big part since you've been in the pros. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'm not a huge shot blocker, so as you can tell, but when it's all about being in the right spot defensively. If I'm late on my rotations, there's no chance I'm gonna get a charge. So it's all about trying to be the low man on time, being early, and just trying to see when guys are a little bit out of control, and trying to see if they can stop. If they can't, then you're gonna get a charge, and just set up and let them run you over. So there's a little bit of an art to it, but it's all about being early and being on time.
Just one more from me. I noticed that you react pretty toughly on yourself whenever you maybe not perform the way that you wanted on the defensive end. I'm kind of curious how you find that balance with letting out the reaction and then getting back on the other end to execute as needed.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, I hate it when I miss shots, but defensively, when I get scored on one-on-one, I take that personally. I hate it more than anything. You know, when even in practice, when you're playing one-on-one with guys, if they score on you, it hurts. You know, so it's because you know, like, and especially with me, they try to target me on screens and get the switch and stuff, and I take that personally. And if I get scored on, I'm gonna be pissed. So I mean, it's you try to let it go, but it's still, you know, it's still in the back of your mind.